Hey, what's up everyone? Doug here with Retro Geek Gaming, bringing you another thought-provoking video, I guess. Another YouTube video discussion. Talking about the Switch again. Now, I've had to take some time, some serious time. The reason why I didn't rush to do this video, the reason why it's kind of coming a little bit later than I wanted it to really think about people's reactions towards the Switch. And this may be a lengthy video, I'm not quite sure yet. I'm just going to kind of shoot the breeze with it. And you're always welcome to put your thoughts in the comments down below if you want. But I personally have high hopes for the Switch. Main reason why is because it appears as though Nintendo is communicating a lot better. And they have the opportunity now to do something that they couldn't do before. See, with the Wii U and the 3DS, it was a very divisive, I guess is the proper word, a very large split. You had people that only wanted portables, and you had people that only wanted consoles. So when the 3DS sold better, Nintendo focused more on that to keep making money, which means that the Wii U basically bled dry. And because it didn't sell well, third-party developers didn't support it, Nintendo themselves hardly supported it, and it sort of just died and just was there. And don't get me wrong, the Wii U had some great games on it, games that I really have loved playing, but I think that this time with the Switch, they're very, very clear. Like they even said, it has the DNA of all of our systems. They've shown off how it can be like a Wii U, how it's like a Wii, how it's like a GameCube. It has shown off how it's like every single one of the systems. And that's a good message, because now you have those people that maybe they're nostalgic and they want their Super Nintendo. Flip the Joy-Con sideways, it has the same buttons. You know, maybe you're a person that you really love the Wii. Flip that right Joy-Con over, it's got that IR sensor. Now you can bring Wii games to the Virtual Console. It's a very, very clear message. And even if it doesn't sell, even if it doesn't, for some reason, the message doesn't get across to people that, hey, it's a home console that you can take on the go, they can always flip that script and say, this is your 3DS replacement. So now all the 3DS games that you know and love, all the portable games you know and love are going to come to the system, and you can happen to dock it and play it at home as well. Something you couldn't do with your systems before. But I also wanted to address the concerns that people had in regards to the Switch, because I think that they're all wrong, and I think that there's a lot of people that are being negative towards this system. And in a way, I get it, because Nintendo before has been the kind of company that has given you everything. Like when you got the Wii, for an example. I hate using the Wii as an example, because it's sort of that system that, you know, it sold well, and I love my Wii, and I love playing games like Xenoblade Chronicles on it, and Last Story, and Pandora's Tower, and Super Mario Galaxy, and all. I love the games that I've gotten to play on the Wii, but it really was an enigma. It sold well because of casuals, and not because of the software. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if you ask me, the Wii U had better software, but it just didn't sell. The Wii had some good software too. I shouldn't even really say that. But this is a good opportunity for Nintendo to come out rolling and say, look, we might not have a Halo, but we have the Conduit, and it's running 900p 60 frames per second. We have No More Heroes 3. We have another Mario, Zelda, Metroid. We have the classics that you love, and now you can take the games that you love, like Skyrim, for example, on the go. And as long as they focus on that marketing, I think they're going to do a lot better, because the Wii U basically had zero marketing. But even if the Switch does fail, all they really have to do is double down. Unlike what they did with the Wii U, where they focused more on bringing those games over. Like, hey, Super Mario Maker sold a heck of a lot. Let's bring it to the 3DS and sell even more. Well, that's not an option anymore, because now the Switch is the console. There is no portable and console. It's one. So if a Super Mario Maker comes, it's going to sell the system. It's going to sell the game. It's no longer a juggling act of, oh, do I get Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS, or do I get it for the Wii U? Or if you're someone like me, you get it for both. You have one option. Super Smash Bros. For the Switch. Because it's going to happen. But I did want to address some concerns because I really feel as though it's a lot of negativity and a lot of smoke that people are just blowing to try and make the Switch look a lot worse than it really is. One example is the pricing. I can't even believe in 2017 that we're having an argument about pricing for a Nintendo system. First of all, how much was the Xbox when it came out again? I believe it was about $200 more. You probably could have bought 2 Switches for the price of an Xbox One at launch. And you're complaining. Second, what are you talking about? I mean, you're talking about a system that technically is 2 systems. It's a portable and a console in one. So take that $300, split it in half, it's $150 each. It's fairly reasonable considering the fact that the Wii U was close to $400 something. And the 3DS was like, what, $250 when it launched? So, that's a good deal. Now, I can understand where you're coming from, because again, you have to buy a game separate, but you had to do that on the PS4 anyway. You had to do that on the Xbox One anyway. Now, that's not saying that there won't be a deal down the road in a year or two where Nintendo maybe includes Breath of the Wild or they include Splatoon 2 with it because they did it with the Wii U. They included Splatoon. They included Smash Brothers. They included games with it. That's not saying that it won't happen. That's not saying that the price won't drop and it won't include games with it. I'm just saying that comparing launch to launch, the Xbox One sold $500. Had to buy a charging dock separate, had to buy games separate, had to get an online subscription. Same thing for Nintendo. Right down the row. Have to buy games separate, which is fine. Because I would rather pick the games that I want rather than being told you will play Wii Sports even if you don't like it. That's cool. I'd rather pick up Breath of the Wild and 1-2 Switch and play the games that I want to play anyway, rather than you forcing snipper clips or something onto the system, and I don't really even want to play that. You see what I'm saying? I'd rather have that option. And yeah, sure, you can say, oh, it's $25 for a charging dock. Yeah, I think Microsoft did something similar. Because last time I checked, their controllers also don't have included charging. They don't. You have to either put in AA batteries or buy a charging station battery thing for the back, separate. And let's face it, unlike the Xbox One, this thing has a 20-hour battery life per Joy-Con, mind you. And most games can be played with just the Joy-Con turned over to the right. Or left, if whatever. But simple matter of the fact, you're getting 2 controllers, you're getting a little dock thing for the Joy-Cons, you're getting a system, you're getting everything you need to play the games right out of the box. 2-player co-op, mind you, for $300. And you're able to take it on the go, like a portable. That seems relatively well priced, considering the fact that I spent $400 on a PS4 and didn't even get a game with it. I basically just got the system and a controller. And I had to rely on Netflix and Hulu until I bought a game separate. Seems reasonable to me. Second, the whole splitting accessories thing I like only because of the fact is now you get to choose. If you're okay, like I am, with a simple dock, and whenever you want to charge the Joy-Cons anyway, just put them onto the side and let them charge off the Switch. Because, hey, maybe I'm off to work or something, I don't need to take it with me today. Let them charge, come back, lift it up, play it some more, undock them, put them into... That's fine. I'm probably not even going to be playing 20 hours in a day anyway. Or, if I do play 20 hours, it's going to be throughout the whole week, and it's going to be on my off days, so I'm going to be focusing heavily on playing all day. You see what I'm saying? So... that's going to be the times when the Joy-Con battery life is going to be tested. Not during the week when I'm working, because I'm only going to be home for a little bit to then go to work. And it won't really be that big of a deal because I'm going to also have my charging thing with me. Because it's going to use USB-C, so I'm just going to plug it into my regular USB adapter for my car. And hey, now my Switch is charging on the go. It's not that big of a deal. Second, launch games. Let's shut the hell up about that. Because realistically, yeah, sure, it would be nice if there was something else there. I get that. It'd be nice if maybe they announced like an Overwatch, for example, or just some other games. But Nintendo One showed off their games. They did their classic strategy of showing off what they're coming out with. Leave it up to the third-party developers to announce what they're going to bring. They don't need the extra fluff like Sony and Microsoft to go and announce games from other developers. Nintendo has enough of their own. They have ARMS, they have Splatoon, they have Zelda coming out. There's more than enough. And let's face it, with the amount of content that there is in Breath of the Wild, you're going to be good until the holidays anyway. And if that's not enough for you, then you still have Splatoon coming out in a couple of months. So you have more than enough content, plus whatever third-party developers bring. And speaking of that, last time I checked, between now and the end of the year, which isn't very long if you consider the fact that the system comes out in March, there's 50-something titles coming out. 50-something titles? And if you think about it, that's like, what, 8 months between March and December? Divide that up. That's a lot coming out. That seems like a pretty decent launch. So these whole people talk about, oh, there's only 5 or 6 games. Well, yeah, there could be, but let's face it, the PS4's launch library was pathetic. The Xbox One's launch library was pathetic. The 3DS, the Wii U. It seems like it's a pretty common trend because it's new and untested hardware. As the system sells, as it gains momentum, you will see those games come. So the best thing to do is just to buy it. You know? So show that support. Have the system sell like crazy. So that way developers go, hey, we know that this thing's going to make money when we put it on there. And then you're going to see the games come. And also, I think it's also the best, because by the time the Switch comes out, do you really want to have games that came out last year running on the Switch? Because I believe that was one of the problems with the Wii U. There was a lot of people that were complaining, talking about, Mass Effect and Darksiders. They've been out for months. Do you really want Overwatch or Doom or these games that have been out for years running on your Switch? Or do you want to wait for the newest, latest, greatest third-party game? And look, I can understand where people are coming from. Yeah, some of these things suck, like the online pay and all that stuff. But one, we don't really know. It could be a lot cheaper. It could be $40 a year versus $60. It could be competitive. We don't really know. But you have no problem giving money to Microsoft, and you have no problem giving money to Sony. You shouldn't have any problem giving money to Nintendo, especially when it seems like they're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to give you a free game every month to play. They're trying to give you, discounts on the eShop. They're trying to give you voice chat and all that. They're trying to do the exact same thing. They're just trying to do it a little bit differently through a smartphone app, which I have no problem with for a couple of reasons that I'm sure people didn't even bother to bring up. They're just like, oh, it's a smartphone app. How dare they? What is the system again? Oh, it has portable capabilities. So just like when I'm at work and I'm on my smartphone using my PlayStation app to talk to my PlayStation friends, that sounds vaguely familiar, doesn't it? That sounds like, hey, hold on, let me get on my Xbox smartphone app and join a group and send messages to my friends to play tonight. Where have I heard that before? Oh, the Nintendo smartphone app. The exact same thing that Sony and Microsoft are doing. But no, we don't want to talk about Sony and Microsoft. No, we're just going to diss Nintendo. And look, I can get it. It's kind of a little bit silly that it's required for online. But again, the system is going to mostly be a portable, I'm sure. Even though they're selling it as a home console, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be using it as a portable. Which means that when I'm at work and playing, I can't talk to my friends through a gaming headset because guess what? I'm at work. And I'm on my lunch break. But my smartphone is in my pocket. And I can just simply plug in my headset. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Yeah, I'm just sitting here playing a little. And I can do group chat while playing Breath of the Wild at work. Ta-da! And also, there's no guarantee that any of this stuff is even going to stay. That's the primary thing you need to consider. There's no guarantee that any of that is even going to stay, because as, again, the system does this crazy thing where it sells, they'll change things, just like Microsoft did. See, Microsoft with the Xbox One royally failed when they revealed the Xbox One, but they changed those policies. And Nintendo could easily say, well, yeah, the smartphone app is great for when you're on the go, but now that we know that it sells well, here is the home voice chat option where you can just simply plug it in through the charging dock, or here's a second dock here's the second charging dock that released that already has a voice option into it. I mean, Nintendo is not a stupid company. They may make some dumb decisions, but so does Sony and Microsoft. Let's be honest. But they're not stupid. They make a choice. They sit there and they probably think, well, what if people are only playing with one Joy-Con? Do we sit there and we put a headphone jack in every single Joy-Con? No. Use your smartphone. Everybody has a smartphone. It makes more sense. Have the smartphone sitting next to you and the Joy-Cons both your controllers, so now you don't have to worry about a cord dangling down while you're playing and playing. You don't have to worry about any of that. It's all right there. And lastly, the thing that I think a lot of people just don't even want to consider. This stuff can change. They could easily come out with a Bluetooth headset that works with it, and stuff will come. Games will come, stuff like that. The pricing, I get, it's technically 2 consoles in one, so the fact that, I saw somebody complain about, why are the Switch games $60? Xbox One games are $60. Where have you been for, the last forever? I don't know. I mean, the Switch has the possibility to fail. So does any system. Let's face it, the Xbox One could have failed. But the only other options that they would have had would have been to do like the Vita. And hey, now you can be connected all the time, and you can do voice chat at any time, but you're going to need to get a SIM card, and you're going to need to have a contract through AT&T. Nintendo, I'm sure, is considered all the options. And I'm sure that these are not nearly as bad as people are making it out to seem. And that's what I don't like. The system's not even out yet. It hasn't even been tested, hasn't even been ran, hasn't even been plugged up to TV number 1. And we're already dooming and glooming it. And again, it could fail, because I had high hopes about the Wii U. But this is a more simplistic approach. A lot more simplistic approach. And personally, I like it because it's following the standards. It's using a smartphone app, which we all have a smartphone, to communicate through an app like the PlayStation app, like the Xbox app. It's using, a regular interface that you can just simply, dock it and keep like a regular controller. It's doing everything that everybody else is doing. And we want to grab about that. Now, I understand, some of the complaints, and I can understand where they're coming from to an extent, but I think that if we really sit down and we think about it, it's not really as big of a deal as you're making it. Because after all, they could have gone up with their online pricing, right, Sony? Now, only time will tell what they'll do. For right now, they're very, very not specific for a reason, because they don't want to sit there and tell you they're going to do this and this and this and this, and then it turns out it's not even a viable option for them, and so 3 months down the road they go, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore, and make everybody upset. They'd rather be vague and be like, yeah, sure, this is a possibility down the road, and then if the system does well, so I mean, it's all possible. Let's just wait and see. But that's just my 2 cents. I've rabbled on long enough about this. I'm sure I'm missing some points. I'll probably make another video later if I think about those points. But for right now, those are my points. I think that the Nintendo Switch is going to do well. And if it doesn't, Nintendo has the opportunity to double down with the Switch because it's their portable and bring more games to it and all that stuff. We have a good opportunity with this, and I really think that we need to take advantage of that. Because like I said, with the Wii U, when it was launching, it's new technology. It's something different, and we should be more excited about it rather than complain all the time because, hey, they're not giving us free games. Oh, well, yeah, they are. Oh, they're not giving us, free online. Neither is Sony or Microsoft. Grow up. But that's just my 2 cents, guys. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit spastic all over the place. I need to get ready for work. I need to do a lot of things, and I'm just plain tired. But make sure that you put your 2 cents in the comments below.